Right. So we got Amy, we got Pretty Peaches, we got Lisa 54, and we got just Shelly in the chat so far. How are you doing, guys? Um yeah, man. I I wanted to go live tonight. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to for the rest of the week. So I just wanted to take advantage and be able to talk to you guys tonight. Um and share my thoughts on a couple of things that uh so first of all, this broadcast is a tribute to the state of Texas right now. um I I it's funny. Months ago, if you remember, months ago there was a mass shooting that took place in Texas. I can't remember which city it was, but it was awful. It was a few months ago, and it took place in a Walmart. And I remember saying that, and I stand by this still. I remember saying that if everyone in that Walmart was armed, it would have saved lives. Um, and and that theory was proven in the state of Texas and in a fucking church, no less. So now I don't know what's rumor and I don't know what's true necessarily. I don't sometimes I do a lot of research, sometimes I don't. Sue me, whatever. But this so some asshole opens fire in a church, and someone in the pews decided to pull his piece out and shoot this fucker right in the face. So bravo, Texas. Absolutely. I I get that there's a whole lot of there's a whole lot of talk. I'm not going to get too deep into my political views here, and I know there's a lot of talk back and forth. That healthcare is the problem behind mass shootings, because people aren't getting psychiatric help the way that they need to. Gun control is an issue. Blah 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 blah. Blah, all that stuff. All that stuff. But here's the reality of things, and this is just from my perspective. In all fairness, this is just from my perspective. But uh, I'm of the opinion that the guns are here. They're not going anywhere. I don't like them any more than anybody else. I don't even own one. So they're here whether we like it or not. So I feel that the best possible nearest solution is to adapt to the problem. So if you're I don't know. If, like I said, if everybody in that Walmart had been armed, they would have been armed precisely for that reason, just in case somebody fucks up and decides to go nuts. It's up to us to put them down. I mean, what's the response time for 911 for a situation like that? By the time anybody gets there, it's way too late. It's way too late. So why not adapt to the problem? Why not buy a handgun or something? I don't know anything about guns, but why not buy a gun, learn how to use it responsibly, just like you would if you were going to drive a car, right? So legally carry a firearm, but learn how to use it. And I mean, how else are you supposed to protect yourself against other guns? You know what I'm saying? I don't see the logic. And it's illogical to to think that banning guns is going to solve the problem. Banning anything doesn't solve anything. You can't just go and write a law and say you can't do this anymore. People are going to do what the fuck they want anyways. Gun manufacturers are still going to manufacture guns. It's just going to happen. So why not arm yourself? That's what I say. I say fucking arm yourself. I say just, it's funny. There's a comedian that I like. His name is Bill Burr. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of him. He's kind of coming up. And he had a bit one time, and I'm not gonna try to, I'm not trying to be funny, but it's one of those bits that are funny because they make sense. And what he used was chloroform. his he was saying that everybody should keep a little bottle of chloroform and and a little bottle of chloroform and a rag on them so that so that whenever somebody starts acting a fool, you could just, it's on somebody, whoever's right behind them, just sneak up behind them and put them out just for a minute, just however long it takes till he calms down. You can subdue him and get him locked up, whatever. But it's possible that he wasn't even talking. He was just talking about people who just talk crazy shit, like people who just start talking about crazy, wild shit in public that just ruins any type of social situation. And he was saying, and so he was just being funny. But the reason why I'm bringing that up is I mean, it's the same thing. It's the same principle when it comes to mass shootings. So this problem isn't just going to go away. It's just not going to just go away. But it is just going to go away if everybody who sits there plotting a mass murder, a mass shooting, anybody who's sitting there fucking jerking off and playing video games in their basement or whatever the fuck these weirdos do, anybody who's doing that, if they know they're going to walk into a public place where everybody's fucking armed, they're probably not going to make that decision and go in there and do that. So yeah, I do believe that is the most logical solution to the mass shooting problem here we have in this country. So I have no bones about saying that out loud here. So, I mean, I'm not. Yeah. So bravo to that guy. And from what I understand, oh man, what an American story that shit is too. Right. So again, it's just rumor. I don't know. But this dude who shot the shooter, from what I understand, owns a shooting range. So so this guy's business just boomed. What a great American story right there. This guy just totally just had the perfect opportunity to go, hey, my address is blah, 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 and call me. And the first 10 people who walk in get. So I think, yeah, I find that kind of humorous. And do I feel bad for the shooter? I don't know anything about him, so no, I don't. If I learn anything about him, maybe I will. I don't know. But the bottom line is, the only way to deal with a mass shooter is to shoot him right in the fucking face, like this dude did. Because we're not law enforcement. We're not trained. We're not. You know what I'm saying? We're just people who don't want to put up with shit like that. We're people who don't want to go to church and worry about getting shot for no reason. We're people who want to go to Walmart and not want to get shot for no reason. So I don't see the issue here. Yeah, gun control is definitely not the solution. Gun control on the other end of the spectrum is, yeah, everybody own a fucking gun. Anybody carry a gun. Everybody carry a gun. Because I mean, it's not gonna, learn how to use it. I get, but we're past the point of, peace and love, and you just gotta love everybody. That's not gonna work. I mean, I get it, and I do believe that. I do believe in just, spreading love. I absolutely believe that. Sure. But I don't I don't think I don't think that giving a guy with a gun who's planning to shoot everybody for absolutely no good reason whatsoever, giving him a hug's not going to do it. So, the guy's got to go down. He's got to go down. There's no other. I'm not seeing any other way around that. So bravo, Texas, bravo. And again, yo, Eric G, my man, thank you. Wow, that's nice. Wow. I keep forgetting that I have that there. So whenever I get one, I'm like, holy shit, that's really nice. But yeah, man, I don't lest we forget, Texas law enforcement, man, they did what they could as fast as they could with the Heidi Broussard thing. It still gets on my nerves because I don't know what's going on, but I trust law enforcement to be doing what they're doing. I talked about this yesterday. But this is I think, if we're gonna praise people for seeing how things are, and just getting a job done, doing what they're supposed to do, man. Right now, Texas law enforcement's on my list of favorites. So yeah, kudos to them, man. And I'm gonna get into a little bit of the YouTube tea, a little bit, not the way you guys think, but I'm gonna talk about something that seems to be the buzz right now. So you guys know me a little bit from giving Mary Marlowe a little piece of how I think. And what's funny is I unsubscribed to her because I just kind of got sick of the whole, I just got sick of it all. Pretty much, I don't have anything left to say to her. I've said everything I'm going to say. She doesn't seem to get it. I didn't think she was ever going to, understand where I was coming from. People like that don't really listen to logic, and they're definitely not rational. So rationality's out the window, especially if somebody is capitalizing on behaving irrationally. So that's exactly how I take Mary Marlowe and what she's doing here on YouTube. But the thing is even though I unsubscribe to her, I still get, yo, what's up, Save Robbie? So I totally get these notifications still, like recommendations. You would think that the YouTube this complex YouTube algorithm that we're always talking about would have this, would kind of realize that when you unsubscribe from somebody, that means that you're not interested in anything else they have to say. And I'm not interested in anything else Mary Marlowe has to say. However, today, I saw a very interesting post from her in the community. And that post said something along the lines of farewell to the Watts case. And I couldn't have been happier. But so apparently what it looks like is Mary Marlowe is going to be hanging up, the cans when it comes to covering the Watts case here on YouTube. At least that's what that post implied, if not flat out said. So and what fascinates me is how she got to this, how she decided to end up doing this. And what fascinated me about that was it wasn't logic, it wasn't rationality, it wasn't even fucking common sense. What it took was for Frankie fucking Ruchek Jr. to make a video and posted on YouTube saying to finally please shut the fuck up about the Watts case. Like, it's done. When the victim's family comes forward and to a point, and it's not even like, hey, the case is still a thing, and we should probably make a statement to the public. This was coming from a place of, dude, don't these people have a fucking life? Like, what the fuck are they delusional? So, and I know that he was addressing Armchair Detective as well. I don't know. I've never listened to Armchair Detective, so I don't know. But from what I understand, he talks a lot about the Watts case, and that's probably why I'm not subscribed to him or listen to him much, because I'm not interested. That's nothing to say against him. I don't know him, but I'm just, yeah. There's nothing else to the fucking Watts case. There's everything that's talked about has been talked about and talked about and talked about, and everything that hasn't been talked about is a fucking lie. It's just a lie. It's just shit that people are making up as it, and it's designed to create the excuse for not letting go of the case and not just letting it go and leaving it alone. So the fact that it took a member of the victim's family to come forward and make a video and say, dude, you people are fucked up. Shut the fuck up already. Leave us the fuck alone. I mean, what else does it take? They got justice. They got the justice that they were looking for. The person responsible for Shanann and Bella and Cece's death, the person responsible for their murder is in prison right now. He pled guilty. They didn't even have to try the motherfucker. He pled guilty. He said, yeah, I did it. That's it. Over and done with. Move on. So to me, it's fascinating that's the severity that it took to get somebody to go, fuck, maybe I shouldn't even talk about this anymore. Maybe that's it. Maybe there's nothing else to it. I just, yeah, man, I'm fucking baffled by that. Mary Marlowe's something else, dude. She's something else. Anyway, Alexis P. Okay, let's see. People are hooked on the why and how behind this case, I think. Yeah, we already know the how. People don't want to accept the why, is what it is, Alexis. People simply don't want to accept the why. And the why is simple. The why is that Chris Watts is a spoiled douchebag who had no balls. He had no testicular fortitude to him. So this is a guy who thought that he could, what he is to me? I've said this 100 times. He's like a little kid, right? The way that he did this is like a little kid who pissed his bed, right? And then took the sheets off, right? And shoved them in his closet and left the bed wet, and then didn't expect, and expected that to be enough to where, it was going to fool his parents. It was, what I'm saying? This is where his mind was. This is how fucking dumb this guy is. This guy genuinely thought that he was going to get away with this. He thought that he could murder his family and report them missing, and then play off of the sympathy of having a missing family from the immediate people left in his life. So he was planning on using that as an angle to keep Nicole Kessinger around and get serious with her. I truly believe that. He was using it as a way to get more sympathy from his mother, I think. this is not, yeah, this is not what's funny is this is not a crazy person. This is just a very entitled and stupid person. And he got caught very, very easily because he's not a mastermind criminal. And there was nobody else fucking involved. This is a guy who, if this was the movie E.T., he would have left fucking Reese's Pieces behind him for the cops to fucking catch him. This is a guy who did not think this through at all. And he got caught. End of story. You people made it more than what it was. You guys did. That's it. Everybody on YouTube, everybody on social media, everybody in the true crime in the so-called true crime community, because there's a true crime community, but the problem is there's a subculture to the true crime community that is the Watts case, and it's full of a bunch of fucking weird fucking wackos, and you guys got to chill out with that shit. And I've talked about it before, and it's gotten to a point where Frankie fucking Ruchek Jr. has to make a video and post it on YouTube saying, shut the fuck up already. Stop. So to me, that says a lot. To me, that says a shit ton, man. No, and I want to be clear about this. O'Clancy. We're not talking Watts right now. We're talking about the craziness surrounding Watts that shouldn't even happen. It shouldn't even exist, and it's caused. And it's not even. I'm holding everyone who's obsessed responsible for that. I'm not blaming the Watts case. That's the easy way. These things fucking happen. If we're true crime enthusiasts and we follow true crime cases, then what we're gonna do is we're going to follow a case until it's no longer, there's nothing else to follow. We move on to another case and we start focusing on that. That's what we do. It's what all of us do. It's what all of us with any common sense do. But see, what happened was it wasn't true crime enthusiasts that started following the Watts case. Some did, sure. But this was simply people with an obsession for drama. And what happened was people's opinions started clashing. And then that became, the Watts case became the excuse. It became the arena for people to treat each other like shit and start doing fucked up crazy shit to each other. Like doxing people, like swatting people. So everyone is responsible for that. Like Chris Watts is responsible for murdering his family, and he's in prison for it. But it's bullshit to blame Watts for the way that this community is acting and treating each other and has been for the past year and a half. That's fucking crazy. That's passing the buck. So I mean, you're you're simply constantly beating a dead horse. But what you're doing is you're using it as an excuse to mask the fact that you're just using something to treat someone else like shit. That's what you're doing. It's crazy. You're using it as some weird sick platform to treat someone else like shit. I mean, am I wrong? There's nothing left to the Watts case. I don't want to hear these excuses that, we want to know the why and the how. That's just an excuse. The why and the how is already there. It's in your face. You just don't want to accept the why and the how. It's already in your face. It's been in your face. It's been in your face since the sentencing. So there is no why and how anymore. The why and the how already, se acabó. That's it. There's no more. Wow. Wow, you were pregnant when Lacey Peterson went missing. That's I don't mean to laugh. Like that's scary as fuck. Yeah. Like I'm laughing at yeah, it's a it's not so much I find it humorous. It's I'm laughing at how crazy that is. Uh Jesus, dude, you again. Um well, and that's the other thing here. Somebody here we go. Let me post this one here. So, yeah, I think there is a real why. Um it's just not the why that everybody expects to see. There's, you know what I'm saying? Like it's everybody's thinking, oh well, why? You know, he must have been abused as a child, or he must have been. You know, it's kind of reminds me of the Dark Knight with Heath Ledger playing the Joker, right? Great movie. But I remember when Alfred was trying to explain somebody like the Joker to Bruce Wayne. And I liked it because it showed that naiveness that Batman can still have, you know. Because I'm really into Batman, right? So Batman is like, you know, but he still had a sense of being naive to him. And Alfred, there was a scene where Alfred explained to him, and he told him the story about this guy who when he was abroad, I think he was like stationed in Africa for something or whatever, and then this dude started stealing shit. Um and and uh this guy was a bandit that was stealing jewels and whatever, and then uh at one point they found like a little girl, like in a poor village, and she was just like playing with a ruby the size of a tangerine, is what he said. And and then you know, Bruce Wayne is like, well, if he's stealing them, you know, why is he getting rid of it? Why is he just? And then and then Alfred explains to him, well, you just did it for sport, you know. Some men just do things just to fucking do them because they fucking do things. They do awful things. You know, we have to accept the fact that the world just isn't perfect, and it's never going to be perfect. It's okay to accept the fact that the world is never going to be perfect, you know. And if some by some miracle it does become perfect, then great. But 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 we sit here and we got to fix this problem, we got to fix that problem. Well, yeah, there are problems that need to be fixed for the preservation of our society, for the sake of preservation of our society, and for the sake of the preservation of our species. um Certain things have to be fixed, sure, absolutely. But we also have to accept the fact that some things aren't going to be fixed. They just have to be controlled to a certain degree, and to a healthy degree. And you know, we as intelligent people, we can learn individually, I think, to manage ourselves, to not have to worry about shit like that so much. um but the world's never going to be perfect, man. The world's never going to be perfect. We're never going to be able to hold hands and sing kumbaya, and then every mass shooter in the world is going to go, fuck, you know what, you got to me, you got to me. I understand now. Yep. Wow. That's deep. No fucking mass shooter is ever going to do that. Every fucking mass shooter has an agenda, and you're not going to change their mind, because it takes a certain kind of fucking drive, a kind of crazy, certain wheels to turn to get you to a point to where you are going to plan something like that, equip for something like that, and then execute something like that. That takes drive. And you know what I'm saying? So, you know, you're not going to change this guy's mind with hope. It doesn't happen. Some people just need to be put the fuck down. So, I mean, you know, And then another argument is, well, if everybody owns a gun, well, uh, if everybody owns a gun, then that's gonna increase the amount of that's gonna arm people. Well, I'm not saying that everybody should be fucking armed. Obviously, people who have mental, I think, I think within reason, I think the laws should require that you get some sort of mental background check. Absolutely. Um, but you know what I'm saying? What good is that really gonna do? In the grand scheme of things, you know what I'm saying? Like a crazy person is still gonna be able to fucking go out and get a gun somehow, some way. It always happens. So, I mean, what's that gonna do? But I don't think there's anything wrong with a law like that. So, but yeah, man. People like Watts. Sometimes people are just fucking bad eggs, dude. And or even good people who just sometimes do something really fucked up and they don't really understand why they did it. But the fact of the matter is you do something like what Watts did, then you end up in the can for the rest of your life, at least if you're not executed. So the bottom line is you can't be trusted to be around other people. You just can't. So you blew that privilege. You blew it. You showed everybody what you were going to do and how you were going to do it and what you're capable of. You that's it. You can't just let this guy run around or let him see a doctor and then call it a day. Oh well, at least he's trying. That doesn't work, dude. Yeah, save Robbie. That's an interesting point. Let's explore that for a second. Let's explore that for a second. So Watts had access to guns, right? What does that say? I mean, to me, ultimately, what it says is he's a fucking coward. I think it takes balls to use a gun, believe it or not. I really do. I've been to a shooting range before. It wasn't the greatest experience of my life, but it wasn't a bad experience. It was actually kind of fun, but it wasn't one of those things. I mean, I hear people talking about, first time I fired a gun, man, it was just the feeling of power that I had, man. I had just power in my fingertips. And that never, ever, ever came over me. Not once. In fact, I was frustrated that I couldn't shoot the fucking thing straight. I mean, handguns, man, they're, you think you got it all perfect and then, and you're like, fuck. Like I knew I had that. I had it aimed perfectly right down the line, but I could never get it, And then I shot an AR-15 rifle. Homie, let me tell you um, that thing is incredibly accurate and extremely easy to handle. So yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, but yeah, a small child could handle an AR-15 and shoot accurately with it. Um, so I don't, yeah, I, but at the same time, it was funny. I didn't get a thrill from shooting it because it was too easy. I'm shooting at a target and I'm just like, pop, 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 pop. It's semi-automatic, and I'm just like, da, 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 da. And okay, like I hit the target perfectly, and I mean, the thing had like 4 sights, going down it was like, so I don't know. Maybe I was just a negative guy at the time, and I couldn't I couldn't find any reason to like really enjoy myself doing like anything. I guess there was a time in my life too where it was rare that I could just like get into something and just have a blast doing it, But let's see. Wyoming has one of the highest gun ownership and very little crime. I would like to think that it's because the majority of us were raised with respect for weapons and knowledge of safety. And also, I'm going to go ahead and add to that, Wicked Witch, and say it's we were raised with respect for the people around us. You know what I'm saying? The kind of people that carry guns with them everywhere they go, the majority of them are not me, dude. I'm not the fucking one. So don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not the type of people that are just fucking wacky and just want to go around shooting people. They just carry guns because they're afraid of people who are wacky and want to go around shooting people. So yeah, everyone in Wisconsin's, yeah. And I wonder I wonder what the statistics are for mass shootings in Wisconsin right now. I'm real curious about that. Um, but you know, Heather Hamlin. Heather Hamlin wants a pink gun to take when she runs at night. Right on. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, um, and I'm kind of jumping back from subject to subject back and forth, but they're kind of related in a way. So yeah, to finish my point on the Watts case, like just stop it, man. Like stop it. There are so many other cases right now that require attention. I mean, there's missing children out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's missing children out there. You're using the Watts case as an excuse to fucking argue with people and fight with people. Like, that makes no sense. Because if that wasn't the case, if it was because you actually cared, then you would be following other cases and trying to help find missing children, trying to put together the pieces for people that have no closure. Not trying to make up reasons why there's no closure, make up reasons that create the illusion of no closure in this case, because this case is closed. It's closed. It's done. It's over. Dude is in prison. That's it. No evidence to support any theories that anybody else was involved in that case. It's over. It's done. Law enforcement did their job. The state did their job. Everybody did their job. Chris Watts is now doing his. That's all you can do, right? Dude's locked up, serving time the rest of his life. He's never getting out. He's never getting out. So all right. So on a lighter note, so I started watching that show You. Anybody here in the chat know about that show You? A few people recommended it to me. I think a couple people in chat actually said something about it. And I think I know one of my coworkers said something about it. And I think somebody in another channel was talking about it when they were live. So I don't know, man. I watched it. So far, what's up, Rhonda? So far, I don't know, man. Y'all are gonna lynch me, dude, because I know that most of my audience here are women, but man, it's too girly for me, dude. It's too girly. Yeah, I, I mean, dude, it took 2 whole episodes for this dude to finally kill somebody, right? And it was kind of boring, and a lot of it is a lot of real romantic, and it's even it's not only too kind of chick flickish for me, but it's also it's too millennial for me too, because I'm old, and yeah, it was. I couldn't relate to how any of these people think. I was I totally wanted to be that old guy like that's sitting around going, what is your fucking problem? So I can't relate to any of the characters on the show is the main thing. I can't relate to any of the characters, but I'm really trying. I'm gonna get through the first season. I'm gonna make myself watch the first season because it might get good. It might. Who knows? but I'm gonna make myself get through the first season. But I I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see the things that I don't like about it changing. So uh let's see. And yeah, I don't it's funny. I used to not watch a lot of TV. When I played music a lot, I never watched TV. Um, but this thing kind of keeps me busy. This is fun because this makes me feel like I'm doing something along those lines again. And this is a nice feeling, most definitely. Um, I wouldn't call it artistic, but I like doing it. It's fun, you know. Uh, yeah, so yeah, I I don't know. Now I guess like I don't have a personal life so much anymore that involves a lot of people. So I watch TVs here and there. But it's weird. My attention span seems to be getting worse, and like I will lose interest in something like right in the middle of it. And YouTube has a lot to do with that because now I'm a lot more involved with other creators in the sense that like I follow what they're doing. So, somebody's always going live and then once that happens, then I fall into that rabbit hole. And yeah, so YouTube is definitely taken over a lot of my time. Considering that I work full time and I'm very avid with exercise. Um, so it's pretty, yeah. So I don't really watch a lot of the. I love Ray Donovan. So I'm all caught up on Ray Donovan right now. Actually, I'm not. There was one last night. I'm gonna watch that tonight. Fuck yeah, sweet, hell yeah. So Ray Donovan's gonna happen tonight. And I love Watchmen so far. Watchmen's really good. Um, and Yeah, Inspector Pugs, you're absolutely right about that. They can. Um, let's see. And here yeah. So I have seen Pennyworth. Pennyworth is fun, man. I wish they would do a Batman show or series that's as graphic as that shit is. I mean, it's super cool because like I watched Gotham for a while, right? And Alfred was easily my favorite character in Gotham. I just loved Alfred. He was a badass. Um, he was just at the decline of his peak at being a badass, having become um a butler. But Pennyworth is about his past and how awesome he is, uh or the work that he did as a spy and shit like that, in England. So I used to, yeah, I watched like the first couple of episodes of it, but we lost that movie channel. We don't have it anymore here. Epics, I think it is. But I do like the show. I mean, it had me sold in the first episode, dude. It totally had me sold in the first episode because in the first episode, uh, there's people are getting killed and there's people doing blow and there's titties shaking at a titty bar. I'm like, all right, okay, I can get on board with this. Um, but yeah, man. Oh yeah, Breaking Bad is the best show on tele. In my opinion, Breaking Bad is the best television show aired since the original Twilight Zone. So yeah, yeah, most definitely. I loved Breaking Bad. Oh yeah, Heather Hamlin, The Boys as well. Wow, yeah. My brother recommended The Boys to me. I'm so excited for the second season. Uh but I like that because I could just breeze through it. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm like I get insomnia real bad sometimes. And so I will just sit there with my laptop and just binge watch shit until I fall asleep. But and I watched Shameless for a while. I did watch Shameless for a while, but I stopped it. Uh I don't know. It just kind of became kind of repetitive for me. Same reason why I stopped watching Walking Dead. Like after like the third season, I was just like, everybody's gonna fucking die anyway. So why don't they just get to it? You know? Why drag this along? Like I don't want to watch this anymore. It's going and going and going and going, and I'm just like, where is this fucking going? Um, so yeah, so this is quite possibly, guys. This is crazy. Well, maybe I'll go live tomorrow night. I don't know. It depends on what I'm doing. I don't think I'm doing anything. I don't have anybody to hang out with and get drunk with, really. So I might go live for the people who are in the same lame position that I'm in for New Year's. Um, but this might be the very last live of 2019. That's fucking crazy. Um, so yeah. Oh, Clancy, you're saying you avoid zombies and anything. That's pretty funny. Zombies are kind of stupid. I don't know what that big craze was for a while. I think it's just the idea of a zombie apocalypse, and it makes people, it makes people go, what would I survive a zombie apocalypse? Like, so it makes people question that about themselves, and I guess it's a topic of conversation. So zombies became like real popular for a minute there, but it was the same thing with vampires. Like I got really sick of vampires. I could never watch that show True Blood. I couldn't fucking watch it. It was annoying as shit. And and it was always women that I hated that watched that show too. And I could it was always a particular type of girl that and yet I always dated them. So yeah. So who was fucked up, them or me? Um, but yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, the vampire thing. It was so weird. Like I couldn't get into the craze for vampires, and so I think it's a whole idea of it, of being immortal and being able to stay beautiful for all of eternity. That's the appeal, I think. And and with zombies, it's, do I have the capability of being a badass? Will I survive an apocalypse? Sure. Everybody fucking thinks they will, but no, you're not. You're dead. You're dead. Um, and let's see. Do I watch? Yeah. So this turned into a nice little lighthearted thing. I like that. I appreciate that, guys in the chat. Yeah, I like talking about this stuff sometimes. So we'll talk about this stuff for a minute. Did I watch Sons of Anarchy? I did. I watched it up until the season that ended with dude's baby getting kidnapped. And he was like he was at some bridge or something. He was like yelling at the sky and whatever. And I was like, I was like, that was a little much. And then and then I had to wait for the next season to come out. And by the time the next season came out, I had no more interest in it. But I like the characters. I like Peggy Bundy's character on that show was really, really good. I had a weird crush on that detective, the one that was really skinny, which I don't really generally, um, yeah, definitely not usually my type, but I was like, there's something hot about her. I don't know what it is. So, that sort of kept me interested in a way. Uh, yeah, they had super weird, they had super weird, uh, characters. There was the one guy, and they were all bikers. So, what's the perfect way to make everybody interesting is make them a fucking biker. So there's this one dude who I remember he had to wear these things on his hands that were that were like attached to his pants, I guess, or something. Uh, and they were there so that he couldn't, because he was a chronic masturbator apparently. So he would constantly touch himself, and like just wherever he was, whatever he was doing, it didn't matter. He was just, you just get the uncontrollable urge to jerk off. And I I thought that was kind of interesting that they made a character like that, because there's all kinds of awkward situations you could write around something like that if you're a writer. I would imagine. I'm not a writer, so I don't know, but I would imagine that's a useful thing. Um, so I was always interested in those weird characters. Um, oh, so they cut his hands off on Mayans. Oh, so that's yeah. I'm so yeah. I forgot that they even made a a spin-off show of Sons of Anarchy. Um, so yeah, man. So in summary, guys, in summary here, now you know what kind of TV I like, and I even have a hard time watching TV I like. It's just because of my attention span. But you know, we've got Texas. I think, man, I'm real proud. I'm real proud of Texas, man. And hats off to that gentleman who saved the day. Um, yeah, anybody who goes into a church, or any place for that matter. I mean, but a fucking church, man. Come on, dude. Um, so anybody who does that, they got to be put down. You can't let people like that walk around. You know. Um, Sober all January. What? I'll probably be sober all January anyway because I'm broke. Like, so yeah, Amy Source. I'm a big fan of nihilist humor. Um, but yeah, that's dude, Clancy. That's probably not gonna happen. But I mean, if I chose to do it, it would be so easy because I have no money. So um, and every time I drink lately, I'm just kind of like, why'd I do that? You know. So um, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not committing to anything like that though. But if it's something, yeah, for health and principle, I absolutely love that. Um, so for health and principle, that's great. I think it's a great idea, especially if you're a heavy drinker, which I'm not. But if you're a heavy drinker, it makes sense to detox. You know, get a reset. You know what I mean? Because I know nobody's going to talk you into quitting drinking. I mean, what people do is your business. That's your business. And I'm nobody to judge anybody. So, and I definitely not the type of guy um, that can throw stones. Most definitely not. But but yeah, absolutely. Like, do I recommend detoxing? Absolutely. I'll tell you what. Since I stopped since I stopped self-medicating, because now if ever I drink, it's more of, you know what? All right, I'm gonna get a bottle of wine and I'm gonna put on a movie, and it's a whole thing, like it's almost a production. It's a whole it's me time thing. You know what I'm saying? I get this whole, you know, I'm gonna chill and really just enjoy myself and enjoy relaxing tonight. Um, which is much different than what it used to be, which was uh if I don't get a bottle now before my work shift, because I'm not going to be able to get one when I get off work because they'll be closed. So I'd have this full bottle and I wouldn't touch it till I got home. I never drank on the job or anything like that. But, I would go home and if I didn't have if I was breaking a habit, basically, I couldn't sleep unless I drank. Um that was where I was at one point. But that's a form of self-medication. Uh, and I don't like to give anything that kind of power over me. Um, and I've talked about this a lot, and I want to talk about this stuff more. Um, but I'm not sure if I want to get into that tonight. But I do, yeah. To me, it's really important to just allow yourself, you know, if you're old enough and you're responsible enough and you're independent enough, then you have every right to do anything that you want, really within reason, that you're not hurting anybody. You have every right, sure, but that's my opinion anyway. But your health is definitely at risk, and if you're abusing something, you're doing abusing something, to me, means doing it for the wrong reasons, if we're talking about a substance of some sort. So uh if you're abusing alcohol, then what you're doing is you're just running away from an issue uh that you need to grow some balls and start to face and start to work on. Um, accept the fact that it's there. Because I mean, how bad could it be if you're walking around every day? You're walking around every day, and you have wants and you have needs, and you got to get these things done. Uh, then you've already proven to yourself that you can live with this thing, right? Uh, so why not get the better of it, and not let it get the better of you? So that's how I feel personally. I feel very strongly about that, only because I'm doing it. But the thing is it's funny because, like, the conversations that I've been having with Antimony Lane, um, she feels differently about that, and I absolutely respect that, and I respect her view on these things. Because she's right in the sense that I mean, all I'm struggling with is anxiety and depression. That's not a lot in hindsight. uh you know if you look at the kind of things that a lot of other people are struggling with, or even suffering from, that's a hell of a thing. That's a lot. And I'm not a doctor, and I'm not a mental health professional. um but when I think of the things that therapists say, and psychiatrists and psychologists, what they tell their patients, is what they're trying to do is dig deep to that problem and help them face that problem and deal with it. um I think they all have that in common. So w- I'm of the belief that if you have the power to do so, I understand that everybody's different, so I don't want to come off like I'm I don't want to come off unrealistic, or too demanding, or have these unrealistic expectations for people. But if it's within your power to to face your demons, and make them control them like an animal, it's kind of like housebreaking a an animal. You're there, you're together, it's it. But you're going to learn how to do things on my level. That's how I see my anxiety and depression. Like, you're the dog here and I'm the master. So you're going to have to and I think that's a good analogy, because it, there's a reason to love these things. There's a reason to love these things. And I know that sounds crazy, but I think that there's a reason to love these things, because they teach you something all the time. They teach you things about yourself. These demons that live inside you, um, if you can find the strength to actually have some gratitude for these things, which is crazy. I know it sounds crazy, but if you can dig deep and find reasons, then you take its power away when you do that. When you no longer fear it, and you can actually say, you know what, I can use you. You know what I'm saying? Uh you know, once you've taken that power over it, man, you know, there's no need to self-medicate. There's no need to drink heavily and you know, or abuse some sort of narcotic. Um, and that's it's extremely liberating. It's an extremely liberating feeling. So I'm not trying to come off like, hey, you got to do this and you got to do that. I'm saying I hope that anybody out there has that and can find that strength and experience that for themselves because it's a really cool thing. Uh, so like I wish that on other people is to have that, you know, who are struggling with these things. Um, I really wish them to have these things. Um, so that's where I'm at right now, and I really believe that 2020 is going to be a dope year, man. It's going to be great. And I think everybody's going to have a really good year. This is the start of a new decade. I remember last time this happened, you know, when the 2010s started, eh, you know, but I think that we're a bit more hopeful now. Things are different. We're starting to understand that it's crazy. The world is a crazy fucked up place right now, but for some reason that craziness seems to be making a good amount of us very hopeful and very positive. And uh and I think that we can all do this. I think we can all do this, and I'm not saying band together. I'm saying the opposite. Work on you. Just focus on you. That's the best thing that anybody can do for their environment is try to improve their own shit, you know? Uh so yeah, I think knock on wood, man. 2020 is going to be a good year. It's going to be the kickoff to a lot of great things. And I'm really happy to have this channel and this platform to be able to talk to you guys. So there's nobody I'd rather be able to share this stuff with. Uh, I'm having a great time with this. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it, guys. And I really appreciate you coming on and participating with me in the chat. Um, is so yeah, man. Guys, have a great night, and we will see you next time. Yeah, maybe I'll go on tomorrow. I'm not sure. It depends on what it kind of, if by some miracle. But if you see me tomorrow, it's because nobody fucking gives a shit about me. But that's all right. You know, I mean, it's not even that. I haven't really made any friends, and it's funny. Like my best buddy, he's probably just gonna chill around the house and not do jack shit. He's not a drinker at all. Um, you know, and my other friend, you know, Sean wants to do something. He wants to like drive out to Gatlinburg or something like that. And I'm like, maybe, you know, but I don't get off work till 8 o'clock. By the time we get out there, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a few hours, man. So um, I don't know. We'll see. But maybe I could just talk Sean into doing something else. Maybe just, you know, just kick it, you know, watch the ball come down. But to see, yeah, I'm not interested in any of the pop acts. You know that I just it's official, man. I'm old as fuck, so I can't even enjoy New Year's anymore. That's all right, man. That's all right. Like I said, worst case scenario, here I'll be with you guys, and it'll be a fun time. It'll be great, and I'll make sure to have something to sip on at midnight. But anyway, guys, if I don't see you, have a great new year and be safe. And don't drink and drive, kids. All right, because let me tell you something, man. With I'm gonna close with this. With Uber and Lyft there's literally no excuse at this point for drinking and driving. Like, there's really no excuse for it. So, just do the right thing, just get fucking hammered and have a blast, just don't fucking date rape anybody, don't get in any fights, and, don't drink and drive. Have a good time. Just don't do it at anybody else's expense. Have some fun, get wild. But anyway, I love you guys. Take that Lyft, take that Uber if you have to. Have a great, great new year if I don't see you.